Hello and welcome to this Picoh tutorial. We're going to start by creating a new file and we're going to call it guess number. And we're also going to use some existing code. So we're going to go file and open and find there's a file called welcome. We'll open that file and the existing code does various things. The first bit basically make sure that the lips of Picoh are synchronized with the text, so that when there's text he will say those items of text. So we copy that into our area and then we copy another piece of code there. This second piece of code, what that does is it makes Picoh's eyes blink, so it looks more human, you might say. So we're just going to delete these bits of text there. We don't really need those. And we're going to move our bits of code over to the right there to get them out of the way. And what we're going to do now is get an event. And the event is when the green flag is clicked. So basically, whenever the green flag is clicked, whatever the code is, that's where it will start. And we're going to get a sound. And the sound we're going to choose there is loop. So we find loop and we click OK, and there we've got loop as our sound to begin with there. And we're going to get some speech now, and we're going to say hello and welcome to guess the number. So Picoh will say those words, and as he says those words, because we have the synchronization with the lips, it means he will actually open his mouth in time with whatever's being said. We're going to wait 1 second there, and then we're going to write some more text here. So we give some instructions basically. So Picoh will give the instructions in this game. I will think of a number between 1 and 10. So Picoh will have that number stored, number between 1 and 10. And the idea of the game is that the player needs to guess the number. So, and you must guess the number I'm thinking of. So we're going to write now, and you must guess the number I'm thinking of. And that's the beginning of our bit of code there. So let's see what happens when we run the code.
Hello and welcome to Guess the Number. In this game I will think of a number between 1 and 10. You must guess the number I am thinking of.
Okay, let's carry on now. We're going to make a variable now, and a variable will be called number, and it will store the number that Picoh thinks of. So it will be a random number, so we need to go to pick random, and we want from 1 to 10. So it could be any number from 1 to 10. And to make sure that we only get whole numbers, we have to use round there. So we stick that in there. And that will make sure it's either 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 or 10. That is a number that's chosen. And then that variable will store that particular number. Now what we're going to do is we're going to ask, what is your guess? So basically Picoh will ask a question, what number are you guessing that number is?
Hello and welcome to Guess the Number. In this game I will think of a number between 1 and 10. You must guess the number I am thinking of. What's your guess?
Okay, we're now going to use selection. We're going to use an if selection, if then else. And the idea of this is that if the person guesses the number correctly, then they get one message. If they guess the number incorrectly, they get another message. So we need the if there, and we need to look at the answer now. So the answer to that particular question is what's stored. So if the person types in 6, then answer will store 6. And we need to compare that with the actual number that's stored by Picoh. So if they're the same, then the person has guessed the number correctly. So we need to say congratulations, and that's correct. We also could play a sound to say well done. So let's choose a sound here, and we're going to choose a sound fanfare, which is full of joy, full of joy. So let's put that in there. And now we need to say the else, what we'll do in terms of getting the question, getting the number wrong. So in the else section, we say, sorry, that's not correct. And just to help the person out, we tell them what the correct number was. So we can use a join in the operator section, but we first need to get another speech say block. So we put the say block here in there, and then the join goes inside it, and we need to say the number was, and then we can put the variable name in the second part of the operator. The number was, and then get the variable, which was called number. And so that if they get the question wrong, it tells them what the right answer was.
Hello and welcome to Guess the Number. In this game I will think of a number between 1 and 10. You must guess the number I am thinking of. What's your guess?
2.
Sorry, that's not correct. The number was 1. Hello and welcome to Guess the Number. In this game I will think of a number between 1 and 10. You must guess the number I am thinking of. What's your guess?
5.
Congratulations. That's correct.
Okay, we're now going to improve the game by giving the player 3 chances to guess the number correctly. So we're going to use a control block called repeat there. So it will be a loop that will loop 3 times. And we're going to put the existing block of text inside the loop. So it will repeat whatever's inside that block there 3 times. We're going to put a 1 second delay after what's your guess. In fact, we'll choose a 2 second delay there. And we're going to put a stop all in the if area if the player gets the answer correct. Because if the player gets the answer correct, we want to stop at that point. We're also going to move the other piece of text which says the correct answer outside the loop. Otherwise, it will tell the answer before the 3 chances have been completed. So we'll put that outside the loop, and we'll add some text there which says you've had your 3 guesses. So if they haven't guessed by then Picoh will say you've had your 3 guesses. That the correct number was this. So basically, it gives an opportunity to repeat it 3 times.
Hello and welcome to Guess the Number. In this game I will think of a number between 1 and 10. You must guess the number I am thinking of. What's your guess?
4.
Sorry, that's not correct. What's your guess?
5.
Sorry, that's not correct. What's your guess?
2.
Congratulations. That's correct.